Hey guys, this is Sandeep from RevAtlas and welcome back to yet another video, and today we'll be taking a look at the review of the Soundmagic E11C. Now this is a pair of wired earphones that I've been testing for a while now, and I would like to give you my thoughts and impressions on the same. Now before we get this started, please do make sure to hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications to avoid missing any videos from us in the future. And now let's begin the video. So I'd like to start by talking about the design itself. Now these are very light. They are actually made of metal, but when you actually hold them in your hand for the first time, you think that they are plastic because of how lightweight it is. Now on the Headphone Zone website, it's mentioned to be around 11 grams, but in our testing, we found it to be closer to 15 grams or 14 grams in terms of weight, which is still pretty light. And that is one of the strong suits of this, considering that despite being a wired headset, this actually fits well into your ear, gives you good isolation, and even for long duration when I was editing or working even, I would not really notice that I was wearing earphones, and it felt completely free because of how lightweight it is. Now in terms of the build quality itself, these are well built. Like I said, it's metal, aluminum, slightly cold to the touch, but I feel that there are a few things that I found to be annoying. One being that it easily picks up dust and lint from your pocket. Now of course, you shouldn't be putting in your pocket. They actually give a carrying case as well, which is useful in order to prevent it from even getting tangled, as this is quite prone to getting tangled. Now this also comes in a separate different variant, the gunmetal gray variant, which is a bit more expensive, but that has a better cable. I find this to be a bit on the thinner side, and I have the feeling that it could break, although so far it has been fine in my particular usage. But if you tend to handle your earphones a bit roughly, I think that it's better to pay the premium and go for the gunmetal gray version, which not just looks better but actually should be more durable as well. Now in terms of the overall the audio quality, now I love these for music. Now the best thing about this was the fact that it was so easy to drive. Now I have been using it even with the Redmi 9 Power here, and the sensitivity of 112 decibel meant that you need lesser power in order to drive it and still get loud enough volume. I could not actually listen to it at full volume because it was piercing through my ear. It was that loud. So most of the time I felt that it was only needed to be put at a volume which most of the time I would need to listen to at a higher volume on other earphones. Now that means that you use less battery, but at the end you still get good enough volume and are still having an immersive experience. Now on top of that, like I mentioned earlier, the sound isolation is also quite good, which means that this has no issues when it comes to even listening over lesser volume levels, and plus you don't get distracted from the outside world. I find that the audio quality itself is again one of the best in this particular segment. I loved how the sub bass kicks in certain songs. It's very much apparent there. I would say that it's very bright and very crisp, and for most of my sort of tracks, I feel that this is really good. Now if you are someone who is getting these for the purpose of music as well as for watching movies or editing and stuff, this works very well. In terms of gaming, I'm not entirely sure how useful this would be. I would feel that of course the latency is low and you have a built-in mic and stuff like that, but I feel that something a bit more free, a truly wireless earphone would probably be better if you are looking at gaming seriously, because the wire at the end of the day, regardless of how well they have done it in terms of the overall weight, it might still cause you some discomfort or annoy you when you tend to move around a bit. Now in terms of the inline remote itself, which is attached to the left earbud, the quality is decent. I didn't really think that this was a strong suit. In fact, this is one of the weaknesses. The mic was okay. It felt a bit distant. It felt a bit hollow and a bit echoey when I was talking to people, and I often had to bring it closer to my mouth in order to actually get better sound from it. So I was able to hear the person at the other end fine, but it was just that my voice was not being transferred to the other person the same good way. Hey guys, this is Sandeep from RevAtlas, and this is the audio being recorded on the Soundmagic E11C. Now in terms of the adapter itself, this is 60-degree angled L jack, and some people might have issues actually using this with certain cases. So far I tried it, most of them worked, but there was one particular case for a phone where this didn't actually fit in perfectly because it was a bit too thick, and the case had a cutout for the headphone jack, which didn't allow this to be used. So keep that in mind in case you're planning to use a case with it. Now, coming to a conclusion as to whether you should be buying this or not, well, for me, I feel that these do make sense if you're listening to music, if you're watching movies. But then again, like I said, for gaming, I think look at TWS. Even though there's latency, I feel that is more of an enjoyable experience. I guess we have been spoiled by wireless audio, but yes, in terms of sheer audio quality, these are pretty good. A lot of people have been asking me for this review for a while now, which is why I thought I'll do it. Plus, the other thing is that I haven't compared these to the Bear Dynamic Byron, which apparently is even better than this. So keep that in mind, that without trying that, I would say that these are definitely worth it. But again, it's just that I would still prefer going for a wireless route as opposed to a wired route. But if you want something wired and you have a device that supports it, then go ahead. These are good value for money. Now we leave a purchase link in the description as well in case you want to buy it. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. See you again in the next one.